What's up, guys? It's Mrjamvad, and today, you know, Jam always has to be late to the party. Today, I finally introduce the Draft League. The Draft League is coming to the Academy, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the Academy Appletuns. That's going to be what we're going to be called for this season, and I mean, really, just for the remainder of the seasons. And yeah, this... Bros, so I'm pretty sure I've taken a week 1 forfeit because last week was just very difficult, you know, as I mentioned in the videos. So yeah, we're 0-1, but we have a lot of just dons coming up, so it's gonna be an exciting next couple of weeks for y'all. I know you guys want to see how my mind interacts with this format. And we hoped it would be under different circumstances, you know, in the sense of, you know, the 10-second timer, I mean the 10-minute timer, blah, blah, blah. But we'll adapt as we always do. If anybody else can do it, you know, we're going to take over. So we're going to be discussing the Pokemon I selected in this draft. And I'm not going to take too long on this. I don't feel like it should be overly complicated, especially because my minds are relatively straightforward. And yes, I know my voice is soothing and all, but let's get into it. So the first Pokemon on the list is, I'll actually go in the order that I did them. I think all right, so tier 1, Corviknight. I mean, it's the greatest mon of all time. What is there to be said? I drafted Corviknight because it's one of those mons that it is so versatile. It's almost too versatile. Like, it's just very difficult to predict what it will be doing, because it can do it all. It can be defensive, it can be offensive, it could be like, it's just incredible. And so for that reason, I was like, well, you know, I gotta have my boy Corviknight here. I use it so damn much in OU as well, so it's only right. So versatility as well, because it has so many good abilities that, you know, I can run the you know, the whole mirror armor thing depending on the opponent. I can run pressure depending on the opponent. Pressure stalling, you know, that's how Jam rolls. We pressure stall all the way. But yeah, because there's a timer limit, I will have to alter my playstyle, and I have to take into account the opponent being able to use different sets. And if you're not familiar with Draft League, go to the Academy Discord and go to the draft channel, and they'll be, it's very quick, that'll take you like maybe 10 seconds. And they'll be able to explain that. And I want to set up a website where there's like things are sectioned off, so somebody who's new to things, want to learn more about these kind of things, has a place to go. I'm gonna do a GoFundMe for that, but this isn't the video for that. I'll save that for about a couple days from now or next week. So yeah, so Corviknight, versatile, pretty simple. As my next pick, I believe I went with Sylveon. Another versatile pick. I like to go when I don't know what my opponent's skill level is, or when I lack information, I tend to go for things that give me range. And by range, I mean something that's not a featherweight where I have to make the wrong decision or it dies. So I'm gonna have to make the right decision or it dies. So Sylveon and Corviknight are pretty solid at both of those, in the fact that I can feel my opponent out without taking too much damage, or I wouldn't say taking too much damage, but without losing too much, because they're such bulky Pokemon. They have recovery, you know, they have the tools, the taunts, the agilities, the substitutes, all of those things. They have the setup moves. Whatever I want them to do, they can do. And Sylveon was just another one of those mons. Nothing in particular that made me gravitate towards Sylveon. A lot of these mons were just kind of like, well, outside of Corviknight and Appletun, I was only really selective about those two, Corviknight and Appletun. Those are what I guaranteed, like, I'm getting that. As far as the next pick, I believe my next was Seismitoad. So we got the OU core solidified, and you know, MV, I was actually trying to look how to set this up to where it's like a slideshow like MVs and Joey's, but I'm late enough. Who am I kidding? I'm not gonna edit that shit. So let's just keep it clean. The gang's all here, the squad. Even though we have straight up different coaches in there, but that's fine. So yeah, in ours we have Seismitoad. That's primarily for the Dracovishes, as MV mentioned. It's pretty important to have a water absorb mine. We do have Appletun, but this is not OU, so it's not like it's 100% that they're going to be choiced. And he might have a non-choice Dracovish that can use a dragon move, an outrage, and him outrage locking would blow my Appletun away in 2, which would likely leave him in confusion and then allow him to switch. Or he'd outrage the first time. I have to switch to my fairy, and then I don't have a solid Fishious red switching. So these are things we have to keep in mind. Seismitoad is just ultra versatile as well. And its abilities are phenomenal, and it gets Sludge Bomb and Grass. Now, who does that? So on the physical end, this is Draft League, so we can go that route. It can go that way. It can go that way on the special end, Rain Dance, Swift Swim. I could go the whole just generic water absorb, generic defensive Seismitoad route. And it just works, man. It just works for what I needed, which was just, again, a solid kind of balance-ish. Okay, well, if my opponent sucks, I can feel him out for a while. Okay, now I got your code locked in. I know how you play, and then I'll finish you from there. So that's how I'm hoping this goes. I do want to take some time out to actually build these teams out, because I did want to do Draft League for such a long time, and without Joey, primarily Joey, envying them, like I wouldn't be a part of this. So I want to really take this seriously and really represent the Academy Appletuns, because we know we're the best team. So the only thing that's going to stop me is my inconsistency and laziness. And I'm not going to allow that to take over, because I could have left the league because of life was going on. But I didn't leave. We're still in there. So the next pick, probably one I'm more excited about than anything else. I think this was my next pick. I'm just going to go in order now. Salazzle. Salazzle is mad versatile, man. Salazzle is disgusting because everything gets toxic, right? And it's speed tier. So in the initial 3, I'm very wary of speed tiers in this, right? If you notice the first one, mid tier, Sylveon, relatively slow. Seismitoad can go fast if Swift Swim, but mid tier, I'd say. So first three slow to mid tier, right? As far as Draft League in this gen is concerned. So I understood, like, okay, well, I need to botch up the speed, and that's when I went with Salazzle. Salazzle is mad versatile with Disable, Toxic, Sub, Flamethrower, Nasty Plot, speed, man, and it has a phenomenal dual stab, because I can know exactly what mon on the opposing team would be able to take me on if I needed to be, something had to take me on. That would have been something that, like, I can prepare for prior, and just use that coverage move to blow away. So let's say Seismitoad, at Walls Fire and some Poison Stab, I can just couple it with, I don't know if it learns Grass Knot, but I could put Grass Knot on there, Nasty Plot, and blow that boy away. So these are just cool things that are a part of the Academy swag, you know what I'm saying? But it's just devastating if it's subtoxic. Alright, so I got a phone call just now, but yeah, Salazzle, a beast. And I believe the next mon I picked, we're just gonna go in order at this point, as I said. We're gonna just go with Gallade. Gallade was interesting, right? Because I think when I was looking at it, a lot of what influenced my picks were typings and speed tiers, and I was like, well, I want a fighting type. I want something very physically oriented beyond Corviknight. Corviknights can get strong and really difficult to deal with, but initially it's not the best physically oriented. But Gallade just comes off with the power off jump. So I believe I also wanted a psychic type, so psychic fighting, it just worked. And it's another mid speed tier mon, but Gallade learns everything under the sun. So as far as just sheer bulk and the fact that its move pool is so damn versatile, this thing gets Will-O-Wisp, man. Like nobody's safe. So I can tailor, I like very versatile Pokemon, so I can tailor it. And Gallade's just been, like, other than the pill, like Gallade, the pill in the belly that just never digested, Gallade's always been one of my favorite mons from Gen 4. I just love the fact that Gardevoir had a male form, and I just always loved the fact that he got Leaf Blade, because Leaf Blade was just so like cool back then to me. Because Sceptile was my favorite. Okay, we're going into, but it was just so sparsely distributed. So whenever I see cool move distributions, I used to be obsessed with Zen Headbutt. Things that shouldn't get Zen Headbutt, no Zen Headbutt. I used to put it on everything. Aqua Tail, I used to put it on everything. And you know, seeing Lucario with Blaze Kick and Glade with Leaf Blade would always just make me happy. This is just bringing back a lot of nostalgia and memories right now. Well, yeah, Galade's, again, simply put, versatility, man, and immediate power. If I slap a Choice Scarf on this, it's not absurd. It has very solid speed tier, and it just works. It just works. As our next pick is going to be Manectric. I'm gonna be honest, man. I was just kind of like, well, I want an electric type, and I also want some additional speed. I want that speed tier up, and Manectric just worked. It doesn't have hidden power ice anymore. That's gonna dampen it quite a bit. So ground types are gonna be very problematic. But as far as its abilities, you know, the ability to, have Lightning Rod, which will deter electric type users, and the fact that it's just damn fast. It's not a weak mon either, but it's just not super strong. It was just one of those tier whatever, what was it, tier 5. So that's, I think, the lowest tier. I keep getting calls, yo, man. Why do I have to be so popular and awesome? Nah, but so the next pick, I'm not gonna spend too much time on Manectric. I mean, again, it was just kind of like one of those things. I wanted electric, I wanted speed. It was there, I was there, and we just kind of had a one night kind of thing going on. So the next pick is going to be Cloyster. Now, Cloyster overlaps in the fact that it is ice and it is water, but it doesn't have anything in particular like that it brings that is just so overwhelming. However, what I really enjoyed about Cloyster is the fact that it gives me different modes. So, you know, modes are important. I can choose to go, you know, super offensive, and I can choose to go more balance oriented. And what Cloyster provided was it can shell smash, so it can go full on offensive mode. It can go suicide lead, gets every hazard, as far as you know, like spikes, T-spikes, all that stuff. And it gets access to rapid spin, so you don't know whether it's gonna boost, you don't know whether it's gonna just lead, and just set up hazards. You don't really know what to expect from Cloyster. And that's a massive asset to me, because it can be do or die depending on what my opponent is using. It can just quickly run through a team, because a Shell Smash Cloyster in Draft League, that shit is nothing to scoff at. So I could even run Shell Smash with hazards. It's just versatile, and then that can provide some hazard control if I don't want anything on my side of the field. I'm pretty sure there are other assets that it carries, but those were my main reasons for selecting it. Just that versatility. You just don't know what you're gonna get once it hits that field. You got to be prepared, because that coverage is wild. So Cloyster, and then the crazy thing, Cloyster doesn't even have to run as generic stuff. It could just be toxic, like just a toxic protect Cloyster with whatever the fuck, you know, like it doesn't even have to be generic Cloyster, which I think is pretty dope. So yeah, the next we're gonna have is the mascot himself, and because we're called the Academy Appletuns, we just had to bring Appletun. Appletun as well is just very, very cool. I haven't explored it fully in OU like I'd like to, but I will soon. I think it just has so many cool abilities and so many cool modes, and I think Draft League, I'm gonna be the first to really kind of show its worth. I feel like in Draft League it can really flourish with Substitute Lead Sheet. It has the dual stab, it has that cool apple acid kind of thing. Like it's just really cool, and it has a really unique typing. One of my favorite designs, one of my favorite Pokemon of the generation, easily. And there's not too much to be said about that. Just run through the move pool. Very cool, very cool. As we're already touching 15 minutes. How? So we're gonna wrap it up as Ninetales is gonna be my next one. And Ninetales, again, I was thinking more speed mode. I believe I picked Ninetales before I picked Cloyster. So initially it was going to be my ice type, and it overlaps in ice and fairy. Ninetales is dope because, you know, in OU we see it with Veil lead, and it again provides a different mode. But also Ninetales is just good. Like if it nasty plots, that dual stab is nothing to scoff at. If you're not just a straight up fairy type, I mean steel type, you're getting battered by nasty plot blizzards and nasty plot moonblast. Phenomenal typing, great speed tier, and I can Aurora Veil and nasty plot if I choose to, so that makes it even harder to kill on top of supporting the other members. And it's just phenomenal, man. It's just phenomenal. Just so many different modes. Hypnosis, it has encore, like nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. I want you to really have to guess what is Jam gonna do, because that's what Draft League is about. I don't want a one-dimensional mon. And then last but not least, as far as the normal mons, because I know Gmax Snorlax is still there, is Scrafty. And Scrafty is just one of my favorite mons, like design wise. It's just really dope. I wanted a straight up psychic immunity, a dark type. And I also like the fact that abilities wise, it gets Intimidate, Shed Skin, Moxie, all phenomenal abilities. And also it's mad bulky. Mad's bulky, man. It is mad bulky. So if I want to go, and it gets Dragon Dance and bulk up, so I can, like, whatever I'm choosing to do, I can do it well. But it also just provided sort of an offensive kind of sponger. You know, I wanted something that can absorb a hit really well without too many consequences. Yeah, I just wanted something that can just take a hit. Okay, Scrafty, I need to scout out whether, but a type neutral hit. So if I had to take a really strong water type move, Scrafty is so bulky, I can run Intimidate, Assault Vest, and no matter what angle it's coming from, I eat it up and just knock off. I just rest. Well, if it's Assault Vest, it can't rest, but I can just be mad annoying with the snarls. It's just versatile, man. Scrafty cannot be stopped. And as far as my Gmax, I'm not really too invested in Gmaxes. I just kind of thought about, well, what type don't I have that I'd care to get another version of, because I don't have a bug type or anything like that. But also, what else would I want in a normal mon? So assuming I don't Gmax, and I went with Snorlax because Snorlax is just, again, super versatile, dope abilities, but it also provided some ghost coverage. Snorlax is so damn bulky that, you know, you can't just go spam with the Dragapult or anything like that. If there is a Dragapult, I can curse alongside it, assuming my Corviknight just doesn't beat that. But it provides another mode, as I mentioned, that even though I have several Dragapult answers in Scrafty, Sylveon, Corviknight, and Snorlax, but it provides, oh yeah, Cloyster has Ice Shard priority, bet. Yeah, so it provides just several modes. It can curse up as well, so you know I'm all about them setup sweepers. As if the Ninetales has to set up, oh man, imagine set up that Veil and I'm just cursing, and nobody's putting a stop to me. It's just a beautiful thing, man. It's just a beautiful thing. Versatility is what the Academy Appletun is about. You know what our motto is here at the Academy: to increase open-mindedness, man. To empower players, increase open-mindedness. So we can't go in there with a closed-minded team. So that was the logic I went into this draft with, and what influenced my decision. So I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I hope y'all are ready as I play MV again this week. So that should be a blast as two YouTubers collide. Then I have Joey the week after that. No, I have Panther the week after that. Then I have Joey the week after that. Then I got 6 Foot Hacks the week after that. My boy Leo. Oh, they're just throwing the draft champs at me. So they're like, okay, welcome to Draft League, cousin. But we're gonna put them in the dirt. So yeah, pumped, and I know a lot of y'all have been waiting for this analysis. So thank you for being patient with me. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.